Good
you kind of look out and
morning,
you
good
realize
afternoon,
like
good
how
night,
high up you
wherever we
are.
are in the
Where
world.
you are,
Yeah, and you could feel
Yeah,
the
we're
vehicles
live. We're
swaying a
live
little bit
watching
around
Jeff
on the
Bezos,
launch.
Mark Bezos, Wally Funk, and what was the other name again?
When it closed, I remember
Okay, I forgot. But we're live to watch the first humans ever to fly in New Shepard.
and like I couldn't think of anything. It was just like, oh look, that's so bad. You know, like can you lock the hatch from the inside?
We were wondering if you guys were gonna do a little
I know.
stowaway situation.
I know.
Sorry.
Okay, they have it on the other side this time.
So it was just this really rich sensory experience being in there from all angles. Yeah.
Well, so you're now head of New Shepard flight and mission ops. What does it feel like this day that we're actually?
Yeah, I forgot to put the latency thing in again.
People in the
So it's 5-second latency also.
Well, we've spent in recent weeks. We've finalized a years-long effort called our Human Flight Certification Plan, and it culminated in an extensive review, over the last month, with external reviewers, and our FAA partners were involved, and it was the culmination of the entire program. Years of work on this program, and I was so struck by how much work has gone into
Man, this launch is gonna be so amazing.
and across the disciplines, and
It's gonna be awesome.
in that room kind of finalizing all of these check boxes.
But what are you talking about right now?
Sense of the history that we had collected of this program, and I was so
Just talking about the history of New Shepard.
I supported New Shepard, and I knew the hard work that was going on in this program, but I have been so struck by just the professionalism and the bias for action and just the critical thinking that everyone on this program puts in, and I have been awestruck by people that I have been working with.
What is
for
quiet?
years. I mean, I
The
know
microphone or the
everyone
sound?
but
Okay, yeah.
being
Sweet.
part of it and part of
Thanks
this
for
team. I'm
pointing it
so
out. Thank you.
honored that they, wanted me in this position, and that I'm participating in this now. Yeah.
Well, Audrey, to you and to your team, to the whole Blue Origin team, thank you for all of your hard work. We cannot wait to see the launch, and Godspeed, New Shepard.
Thank you. I can't wait to see it either.
Audrey offers such great insight into New Shepard. She's also a pilot herself. Oh, and the chair of the Commercial Spaceflight Federation. She's had an incredible impact on space legislation and policy in some major ways, as well as a major impact on Blue Origin. So thank you to Audrey. She's kind of busy today, so we're very proud to have had her on stage just a couple of days ago. All right, we're at T-minus 55 minutes to go until launch. Let's go ahead and check out New Shepard as she gets ready for her flight today to space and back with our first human flight crew.
Beautiful shot. Man, really like New Shepard and the launch it there. It's a beautiful rocket. It looks a little bit like, but it's a nice rocket and fully reusable. I love how they have the fins on the bottom and not on the top. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the drone shot at the beginning. I lift off the beautiful drone shot. That's gonna be very nice. Do you hear this? You hear the mission control audio right now. They have like loudspeakers also on the launch pad area, and you can hear the mission control audio. It's really nice. Is the volume better now? That shot's so cool. Really hope we get that one at liftoff. And the other
Thank
shot
you everybody
from
again for joining us live
the
from
engine
West
cam.
Texas for Blue Origin's first human flight. We are at T-minus 52 minutes to go until launch. Right now, our 4 astronauts are inside the astronaut training center. We are waiting for them to exit to get in the Rivians, and then we will be waiting for a go for astronaut load-in. I can already hear the helicopter above that's going to be following them on their way out. Now, that astronaut training center, what we have in that training center is basically
It'd be really nice if they would have
but
like a
I'd say the
timeline or so where we could see
centerpiece
like
of
when, or
it,
do they have,
is
let me
a
just look at the
beautiful
homepage.
crew capsule simulator, and it's
Sure.
a really cool simulator. Some of you may have seen in the past, we've had a mock-up that we've been able to take to various events. But the simulator that's in the astronaut training center is kind of a step above, a step beyond, because in it we are able to simulate the sounds, the vibrations, the full crew screen and alert system that we have for every single seat. And so during the training, you spend a lot of time, of course, understanding, with crew member 7, understanding the general New Shepard system, all of the procedures, ingress, egress, and getting to know the Blue Origin team. But you do
A
spend
New Shepard
a lot of time
with
in that
fully
capsule.
reusable,
And as
like one
mentioned,
single
we can
station
go
Shepard
through
would be
these
cool.
simulations of the
Like
flights
they just land the
and of
whole
all
thing.
sorts of different scenarios so that our astronauts feel comfortable, as we said, so they can sit back and kind of enjoy the ride, enjoy this incredible experience. They've got these huge windows right next to them. We want them to be focused on that view, focused on feeling the G's as they come on. You know, you're in these beautiful, nice, soft, reclined seats that disperse the G's. It's a wonderful experience. And that simulator, we run these scenarios, we've got full audio, we've got full vibration, and it's a really critical component of the training program, let's say. Now, we also, of course, we will take them out to the pad the day before launch. We want them to walk up the crew access tower. You'll see it's hidden a little bit in that
Go to
shot
sleep,
there
man, if
on
you
the
have
left
to.
there, but that is the safety shelter. So we'll see as the astronauts drive out to the pad itself, they will ascend the stairs, the set of stairs on the left. They'll take kind of a bit of a timeout in the safety
Yeah, I
shelter.
don't think I'll
The
get
crew
the
member
recap done
7,
by
Kevin
tomorrow.
Sproul, will go out
I have
to the,
not much time
across
the
the
next day,
bridge
so
there
maybe
to
it will come like
to the tower that's in the center of your
next
screen.
week.
He will
But
be
I'm
working with
on
the tower
holidays
crew
there. I don't have
make sure
I
everything
don't
is set
have
and
my good
sorted to
PC
go
with
for our
me.
astronauts. He will
So
then
cutting
go
will be
back
hard, but
to
I'll
the,
try.
to
And if
the
not,
safety
it
shelter
will be like
and get
3 weeks
the,
or so.
the astronauts and get them
But maybe I'll
ingressed
get it
into
done
the
this
capsule.
evening.
The astronauts
Or
right
this
now,
evening,
though, they are
tomorrow.
in the astronaut training center. Again, we are waiting for them to emerge shortly here. We are at T-minus 49 minutes to go until launch. Again, they are going to be entering into their Rivian trucks and heading out to the launch pad. This will be our first glimpse of the astronauts. We're going to see those shining smiles of theirs. I'm sure they're trying to contain their excitement. You know, you've got that excited energy that, of course,
And
they're
that's also
they
cool
are
shot. You can
controlling
see, I think
themselves.
that should be
Although, again, let's be honest,
hydrogen
Wally
feed
Funk
line.
doesn't control her excitement. As I said, fully expecting her to do full somersaults and cartwheels on her way into the Rivians. And why don't we just wait here for a moment as we wait for those astronauts
Bye.
to emerge. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us live for New Shepard's first human flight. We are waiting for our astronauts to emerge from the astronaut training center. We've got our on-the-ground correspondent, Caitlin Dietrich, who is just outside of the training center. Caitlin, what's going on out there?
So you can really feel the energy start to build now. We've just heard that everything's continuing nominally towards launch. The countdown is moving forward. We've got our helicopters in the air waiting to capture our astronauts as they take their Rivians to the launch pad. The sun's coming up. It's a beautiful morning. Our teams are going to be standing on the road, hooting and hollering as the astronauts drive by on their way to the tower. And I'm starting to get goosebumps over here, and it's a little bit emotional. But we'll be back in just a couple minutes, and we'll watch these Astros as they head out into their truck and on their way to space.
Fantastic. Thanks, Caitlin. We'll send it back to Caitlin in a moment here as we wait for those astronauts to emerge from the astronaut training center. You know, I'll tell you, the last thing that they do before they exit the training center is there's this special coin ceremony. It's a challenge coin that's given to each one of the astronauts for them to take in their suit up to space and back. It's a military tradition, but it really makes you feel like you are part of a team. And what a team to be part of. What a crew to be part of. Only New Shepards astronauts are going to be able to get these coins. You only get the coin if you get to go up to space and back. And these astronauts, again, have completed their training, and they are ready to become the next set of international astronauts. So again, we're waiting here for just a moment while we wait for the astronauts to emerge from the astronaut training center. We are at T-minus 46 minutes to go until launch.
And now we are at the T-minus 54-minute hold. I'm not sure what the word, but I think it's because of the astronauts. Maybe there's some hold up or some things, but I think that's just the usual astronaut hold where they wait for the astronauts to continue. But I'm not sure. But it definitely seems like to be in planned hold.
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us
So
live for
nearly
New
time, so.
Shepherd's first human flight. We are at T-minus 45
And there they are.
minutes. And here the astronauts come.
There they are. Man, I'm looking so forward to this launch. I'm really hyped. I'm a lot
There
more
you
hyped
see
than
Jeff
Virgin
Bezos
Galactic.
in the foreground.
And what I really like about
Oliver
this launch is
Damon,
you version has really nice webcasts, always like nice camera shots and that stuff, and I'm really looking forward to get a nice recap also for that. I didn't do one for the Virgin Galactic launch because yeah, it didn't get nice images, nice footage that's nice for a recap.
At the age of 82, she
Same
will
as the
become
Virgin Orbit thing.
the oldest astronaut to have ever
I
flown
made it,
into
but
space.
you know the cameras were like 2 FPS and that stuff.
And there she is, loading into the Rivian. Wally was part of the Mercury 13 program back in the 1960s. The program to train
Man,
women
that's so
to go
cool.
to space that ultimately was canceled. But now it is her moment. Today is an incredible day for her.
Yeah, that would like else again, so there probably was, or there probably is a hold for the astronauts to get to the launch site. I mean, they're going in the blast room first, they're checking everything, but I think that's the hold until they ingress. I'm not sure, maybe just until they arrive or just until they go on driving to the range. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a hold. That's about the crew, and so we didn't saw it earlier. So last launch we saw it. Because they also tested the ingress, but they launched just ahead of them, like NS-14 and lower. We didn't saw this hold because there were no astronauts.
The Rivian will start heading out towards the pad. They're actually going to pass right behind me here. I'm certainly going to give them a wave. They then will pass Mission Control. Get some last-minute love from
nice margin,
our team there,
lower
as
and
well as their
text
families.
inside really.
And then they will
really
head
good.
down the road to space to the launch pad.
There they go.
And we'll go for load-in. There they go, everybody.
So yeah, the hold resumed. They start driving. That's what the hold
What
was
a
for.
moment. You can probably hear our team already losing it down here. We are super excited. And there they are. High fives from everybody. What an incredible moment. They're coming over here just behind my right shoulder.
That's so cool. Cool shots from
Here
helicopter.
at Blue Origin. So much hard work has led to this moment. How exciting. Wally Funk, the Bezos brothers, Oliver Damon, our 4 crew members are heading out to the launch pad. There they go. See you guys. Oh my gosh, they are in for the flight of a lifetime. And just a couple yards to my left here, that is Mission Control, and here they go, passing by Mission Control. There you see
Man,
Jeff
that road
Bezos waving
that road
to
is
the
really
team.
has a nice pavement. That's the gate for the launch site, right?
And they're gonna hang a left there.
Yeah, on the right, I think behind them now there is the
As
that's
they
the
head
intersection,
down
and right
the
behind them
road
now there
to
is the
space.
integration center where they integrate vehicle and stuff, and
Now,
this
while
is
we watch them
like
travel
the
down that
facilities
road to
Bezos
space, they've
has
got just a couple
in
of
front of the
moments.
pads, and that's the road probably
It's a
where
long
the Shepards
2-mile
roll
road
down.
there. We've got a couple of moments. Why don't we meet aviation icon Wally Funk?
You're in zero gravity for 4 minutes. You come back down. We land gently on the desert surface. We open the hatch and you step outside. What's the first thing you say?
I will say, honey, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I was giving you a hug.
Man, I'm really happy for that.
I've been
That's
flying
finally
forever,
happening.
and I have 19,600 flying hours. I have taught over 3,000 people to fly, private, commercial, instrument, flight engineer, airline transport, gliding, everything that the FAA has, I've got the license for. And I can outrun you. Back in the 60s, I was in the Mercury 13 program.
Wait,
They
there
asked
was.
me, do you want to be an astronaut?
Wait.
Yes. They told me I could fly better and compete
No way, no way.
in private, commercial, instrument, flight engineer, airline
Wait,
transport, gliding,
wait a second.
everything that the FAA has.
That's
I've got the
a struggle right
license for.
now.
And I can outrun you.
And there's Spaceship 2. There's Virgin Galactic sticker on there. There's a Virgin Galactic sticker. Oh my god. They just take a sniffing tool thing here. What? Why is there a Virgin Galactic sticker? That's funny. Resume this
Back
one
in
here.
the 60s, I was in the Mercury 13 program. They
On the very first flight. That's your
I can't tell people that are watching how fabulous I feel to have been picked by Blue Origin to go on this trip.
You're gonna be an astronaut.
Oh, finally! And I'll love every second of it. Woo! Ha ha! I can hardly wait.
We are just so thrilled and frankly honored to help Wally Funk finally realize her dream of going to space. Now, recently I was lucky enough to spend a couple of moments with her right here at the desk. Why don't we take a look? Wally, it is a pleasure to meet you. As a fellow pilot, you are an inspiration. So thank you.
You don't know how great it is to meet you. That you are a
So
pilot.
funny,
and I
what
want
the
you
fuck?
to go fly more in that glider and jumping.
Oh, well,
that's great.
and hopefully follow in your footsteps and go on New Shepard one day.
Absolutely.
That's so funny.
So,
Oh
Wally,
my god.
You've waited a while to go to space. Silly question, but are you excited?
Virgin, no. They hate a lot on Virgin Galactic, and now they want to say, oh, we're friends now.
Get here and meet all of you. This is so fantastic.
What do you, so on
Why have we
launch
dropped
day,
from
what
4
do you
viewers to
think
1
is
viewer?
going to be the most exciting thing?
Aria,
What do
are you
look
still
forward
there?
to the most?
Lift off, climb, undo, and be able to move around in the, if there's room. I want to do a lot of stuff because I've done that in other situations.
And you were just telling me a second ago, you're going to take your camera up there and you've got a postcard that you're going to take a photo with.
That is what's going to be on the window when I go up, and then I'm going to take a picture of it with Earth behind me.
That's such a beautiful photo of you and the American
That's cool.
flag back there in your flight suit. And that's going to be a spectacular photo. So, you know, this is probably, I imagine, your first time down here in West Texas at our launch site.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
No, I used to be in Texas and teach. I think everything's fantastic. I mean, I've been treated so well, and the food is so great. I can't believe it's coming from, I don't know, California.
Right, right.
And that's
And you're lucky to be here with all these friends and people and see
Still
what's
having-
going on.
Absolutely. Well, so, Wally, as I said, you've been an inspiration to me. What would you say to the next generation of young people that are out there that want to go to space?
Well, I've talked to young people all my life. How many of you girls and boys want to fly? Well, not many raise their hands. I said, well, I tell you what, get your parents to take you out and give you a flight.
Right.
That's what my parents did at 7 years old. And if you like it, you'll continue on. And if you don't, you might continue on because something's going to be in your heart that's going to want you to do that.
I cannot wait to see you go to space. Thank you for being with us. It's a pleasure to have you.
it
Thank
was
you.
like a
So yes,
thing
as you
for
just
coffee,
saw,
what's-
Wally Funk is the real deal. I
you know
was
what I mean,
joined
like
by
those
Beth,
thermal
my
things
fangirl
which hold the coffee warm.
moment
That
there
stuff.
because
It was
she,
like this
again, is
thing
an inspiration to
with
so many
like a
people
can,
around the
small
world,
can.
and myself included. We see here that the astronauts are starting to ascend the crew tower. There's Wally waving. She's leading the crew. Gary, welcome back. It's good to have you back here at the desk to get you to help with the play-by-play here. We just saw a moment ago that they drove around the ring road, stopped, took a photo because, of course, you know, we're memorializing this moment as best we can for these astronauts. They so deserve it. So going up the tower, we've got Wally, then it looks like Jeff Bezos, his brother Mark, and Oliver Damon. They're heading up to their rocket.
Jeff is
Now,
our
while we have a
new
moment here, I do understand that Caitlin Dietrich
our
is
new,
standing by at
terminal,
Mission
she said.
Control. What's going on outside Mission Control, Caitlin?
Hey guys, Caitlin here. I'm with Jarrett Jones, the head of our New Glenn program here. Jared, how you
New
feeling
Glenn
today
infos?
watching the launch here from Mission Control?
Excited.
Please give us new Glenn
This is
infos.
amazing. It's just incredible. You could only dream.
Oh man, look at that shot on the right there.
It's not lost on me.
They're walking out to the rocket. It's smoking, it's venting. That must be so fucking cool. I want to be there now.
Stepped on the moon.
And that shot's awesome. Look at them.
And we're doing it at New Shepard and Blue Origin, doing our first human launch, and it's just amazing. And the reason I'm excited, but also focused, is that there's quite a bit of technology
That's
transfer
such a
from
cool
New
shot.
Shepard to New Glenn. Everything
I don't know
from
why
BE3
can you hate
with
Blue Origin? I love them.
and the hydrogen
Great company.
all the way
I really
down
love it.
to our
I really
landing
like New
gear.
Shepard.
I mean, this is an
Really cool
exciting
rocket.
day for us, and I'm just excited. I don't want to take the spotlight
And-
away. It's
and
about
really,
New Shepard. And,
They're
I'm
really,
just very
really
proud of
good
this team and
webcasts.
Blue Origin
Much
as a
better
whole.
than the
Just
Virgin Galactic
amazing.
one. That
Just
was
amazing day, Caitlin.
Well,
not
we
really
like
good.
to say that New Shepard is basically the second stage of New Glenn. So you're kind of seeing the second stage fly here today.
Absolutely, absolutely. New Shepard was built and designed.
Yeah, true.
for
Like
scalability,
New Glenn
and we
has
took advantage of it
to
in New
be
Glenn. So
free
it's
vacuum optimized
amazing
engines.
feat that we're doing.
Still can't get into my mind how they have so much
So
power.
smart. It's the epitome of our step-by-step approach, as you hear us say. And I want to pan back to Mission Control. We've got a lot of our
Nice
team
quality
here on
video
the
there.
porch here. Hey guys! Woohoo!
They are hyped. And it must be so cool, yeah, like working on that one.
We're so
Shepard's
excited. We
real.
saw the astronauts
Working on
fly
that
by
one
here just
so
a second
long,
ago,
and
right in that room is some of the
then
world's
it's
most
finally
brilliant
happening. I mean,
engineers
must
flying
be
this rocket today. And
awesome
I don't know
moment.
about you, but I'm starting to get a little bit emotional. So back to you, Ariane, and we'll see you after launch. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Thank you, Caitlin. Enjoy the launch. Jared Jones, enjoy the launch. Everybody out there outside of Mission Control, as well as in Mission Control, enjoy the launch. Gary, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Caitlin touched on it just a second ago, how basically New Shepard is being scaled up to New Glenn. Tell me how you've thought about that, because you're part of, obviously, New Shepard, the architect of New Shepard, but you've been part of thinking about the broader
Yes, the drone shots on
roadmap
lift
that
up.
Blue Origin
Oh my
has.
god, they're really amazing.
That's right.
I mean, have we
Is-
gotten drone
it is a
shots from the
scaled-up version
landing?
of New
I think
Shepard.
yes,
It does
right?
use
We have
different
gotten some
main
awesome drone
propulsion
shots
for
from
the
the
first
landing
stage,
also.
but the second stage of New
I
Glenn,
love the landing, like
that
when it
engine
like
is a
it
derivative
doesn't
of
so
the new-
so
the V3
late, you know. It
engine
has a
that's
really
on
high
New Shepard today.
TWR, and it's
And the techniques for vertical landing, which we perfected with the New Shepard vehicle, are going to be applied.
it's
to the
awesome.
New Glenn
It's just
vehicle.
awesome.
We
Then
have
it
very
translates,
high
it hovers.
confidence that the very first
Love it.
launch of New Glenn will stick that landing on the ship. We would not have that confidence without the New Shepard program.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Jarrett Jones, again, who leads that entire New Glenn program, he has a big job, but he's gotten a lot of help. He's kind of gotten this catapulted help.
And there's
from
the white-
development
the
and
white
now
room.
the operations and flight.
Shock
of
room
New
or
Shepard.
blast
I would
room or
note
however you want to call
that
it.
New Glenn will also
I'm not
carry
even sure
humans
if
one
it
day.
is the
We
right
build
white
all of
room,
our
but
programs
I
from
think
the
it
very
is.
beginning with the intent to put people on board. And talking about astronauts in people, we just saw them enter into the astronaut safety shelter. I would like to highlight one thing, which is, Wally was saying that she could outrun you. She was the first up those stairs and first in the astronaut shelter. So she, no lie, that
Yeah, they call it
that Wally
astronaut
Funk,
shelter.
she's got quite a bit of energy. People, she's 82. But I'm convinced every time I read that it's a typo, that she's actually 28, because, again, that woman. All right, Gary, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's happening in the shelter? Because we should remind our viewers that on the last flight that we had, we basically did a full-up rehearsal of what we're doing right now. You were part of that astronaut crew that we had. What happens in the shelter?
So the shelter is
Look at this. Good
has
shots.
two main functions. It's a shelter in case of some kind of emergency. If they need to evacuate the capsule very quickly, they can go across the bridge only about 75 feet and be in this shelter very fast. It is fireproof. It can handle a whole set of anomalies that might happen with the rocket. You see those blue tanks against the wall? The shelter has its own air breathing supply in case of a
That's
fire
nice.
outside. It also has communications. They can talk directly to Capcom from there. Right now, they are just waiting for the go-ahead from the pad crew that is preparing the capsule to start astronaut load.
Fantastic. And you see there in the foreground in the black suit, that is Kevin Sprogge, our crew member 7, as well as Wally Funk seated on the left, soon to become the oldest person to have ever flown in space. Then, going clockwise here, Oliver Damon, soon to be the youngest person to have ever flown in space at the age of 18. He comes to us from the Netherlands. A special shout out to our international viewers, especially those in the Netherlands. Hello, everybody.
Hello, I'm very proud from
of your
Netherlands.
countrymen there. Then we have, of course, Mark Bezos, brother to Jeff Bezos, our founder, in the cowboy hat. He is a true Texan at heart. You know, we call it the ranch down here. We like to incorporate that into a lot of what we do in the spirit that we have down here at our launch site 1.
And I think they gotta go.
They are leaving.
They get to go for ingress.
Astronaut safety shelter here. Let's watch as they prepare to cross the bridge.
Are you still recording it with the helicopter? There's Jeff Bezos. Look at that. He kept fully punk
What a
back.
moment. Jeff Bezos.
She was
Mark
a little too
Bezos.
motivated.
Wally Funk.
That's
And Oliver Damon.
That's a hell of a
Ring the ceremonial bell, making some noise on their way to get into the crew capsule. Kevin, the crew member 7 that you see there in the black suit, he is now going to help them ingress, get into the capsule, get situated in their seats, and of course help them get buckled into their harnesses and go through any final safety checks before closing the hatch. I mean, we should note though, Gary and I, again, I have both been through the astronaut training experience. It's a 5-point harness. By the time you're done with training, you can do that upside down, backwards with your eyes closed, inside and out. I mean, you definitely understand how that works, and you're gonna need to, because when we come back, when you get back into your seat from 0G, that's very important. Let's watch here as they cross the gantry, taking some final photos. We've got our photographer there, Felix Koons, a brilliant photographer who's taken those beautiful shots of the crew that we
You
saw
can really hear the
earlier.
roaring of the helicopter. And why are they going? Yeah,
Into
come.
the crew capsule.
Stop, not that fast. Didn't look.
Gary, do you want to
Was
talk
this?
about
Was this Jeff?
the hosing and the piping that you see going into the hatch?
So that is just a cabin environmental
And there's Wally
control
Funk.
system. While it's on the pad, before we seal the hatch, we want to make sure the air is fresh and air conditioned in there. That hose will be removed, obviously, during hatch closure. And so what they're doing now is just one by one entering the cabin and getting fastened, and then they will go through a series of comm checks with Capcom.
Fantastic. There's Wally Funk in seat number 3 there. Oliver getting situated in seat number 1. I'm starting to shake a little bit. I mean, not only, again, have we practiced this, and not only on the last flight did we have a full
And Jeff
astronaut rehearsal
really
like
happy.
this,
And look at the
but
pictures.
it's
There are a lot of
different. We've
them.
done, again, 15
Really happy. I'm really
consecutive
happy
missions
for
to
him
get
as
to this
well.
point.
And
But
that's his
it's
biggest
so
dream.
much
It's
different
not coming
when you
true.
put people on board.
Pretty cool.
But again, so much testing, so much design, so much thought, and incredibly well-trained Blue Origin team that's supporting these astronauts, our first crew on New Shepard. Just wonderful. We are ready for today.
Man,
Now, we are
I'm
standing
so
by
hyped, I'm
here
so
for
hyped.
Capcom to welcome our crew into the capsule. Let's stand by for some audio there. There's our mission control. And Sarah Knights.
just saw a gif from the bell ring thing and this wall again.
Sarah Knights, again, she has this incredible...
I have you loud and clear, 7. How me?
Here comes Kevin. Kevin will help you out. Here it comes, Wally. I can see it's jammed in there. Don't keep pulling on it. Don't get it.
So again, we've got Capcom Sarah Knight. She's one of our crew member 7 on the left. Our 4 astronauts are loaded into the capsule. There is Wally Funk in her seat, as well as mission
That's
control.
great explosion.
Talk about locked and loaded. This team is really, I mean, you've been in mission control during these launches. What is that like?
So at this point in the procedure, everybody is incredibly focused. They're true professionals. They are looking at the data, they're following procedures. There's really no distraction. You can hear a pin drop in that room unless they're working an issue. And as you saw in that picture, we run a very, very tight ship here at Blue Origin and on the New Shepard program. That picture of the front room of mission control, that is all the people that are operating the rocket at this point, in terms of pushing the buttons to make things happen, in addition to the pad crew.
There you see, we've got crew member 7 that is making sure Wally's harnesses are all tight and snug there. No, to your point about crew, Gary, I mean, we talk about designing an autonomous vehicle that launches and lands and we reuse, but we've built also the operations to also complement that, to lower the cost of accessing to space, because that's at the heart of building this road to space. So we've built it so that it's an efficient vehicle, efficient operations.
Absolutely. So in addition to that front room, which is really just a half a dozen people and some backups to relieve them in case they need a break, there is an engineering back room right behind that room. It's the size of a small conference room, really, and it consists of engineers that are there just in case there's an anomaly that needs investigation. Mm-hmm. But you can actually see it through those back windows. That's it. That is all that is needed to launch New Shepard.
Nice to talk now about anomalies that could happen.
In,
yeah, why not, you know? You're going onto your first space flight and go, yes, you could die from no pressure.
Waving at you, Gary. Oh,
and there's the picture.
That's the postcard that she promised everybody she was going to be bringing up to space with her. So not only is the crew ready, but we got the props ready. We've got the photo shoot all set up. But getting back to the crew and crew operations that we've set up, as you said, lean and mean, but also, we talked about it earlier, in addition to the safety and critical to safety, are redundant systems. Backup systems, backup to the backup. And, you know, we were talking about the team that we have back in Kent. So that is part of it. It's not just in, you know, let's say the mechanical systems, the engineering that goes into the capsule, but from an operational standpoint, we've built that in from the very beginning. Some beautiful shots there of the capsule. So the window with the white square there, that is Wally Funk. To the left, that is Mark Bezos, Jeff Bezos' brother. And in fact, to the left of him, a little harder to see off of that other window, that will be Jeff Bezos. And Oliver Damon on the other side of the hatch, he's also harnessed in, ready to go to space, ready to become the youngest person to have ever flown in space. Again, he comes from the Netherlands. So beautiful. Again, as we talked about at Blue Origin, we really want to open up this experience to the world, and it's so wonderful that he is not just representing the next generation, but also more flags as we fly to space. Standing by here from Capcom.
New Shepard, this is Blue Origin Mission Control. Good morning, astronauts, and welcome aboard the RSS First Step. Let's get things started with the comm check. Astronaut Oliver, how do you read?
Blue Control, astronaut Oliver, loud and clear.
Copy. Astronaut Wally, how do you read me?
Wally, push the button and answer. Push the button until you can hear you're good. Boy, loud and clear.
Copy, Astronaut Wally. Astronaut Demo.
Blue Control, this is Astronaut Demo. I have you loud and clear.
Copy. Astronaut Bezos.
Blue Control Bezos, I reach you loud and clear. Thanks for everything, Sarah. We appreciate it.
It's my honor and my pleasure. All right, astronauts, we are at T-minus 21 minutes and counting. As we proceed, I'll keep you updated. For now, just sit back and relax.
Fantastic, and there you heard it. All 4
Wally, push
astronauts
the
are
button.
ready to go to space. They just had a quick comms check with Sarah Knight on
Wally,
Capcom,
push
one
the
of our
button.
crew member 7 there. You heard all 4 astronauts are jazzed. You know, Wally there was, I'm sure she's a bit distracted again. We've said this before. She has waited over 60 years from the days that she was part of the Mercury 13 program
Wally's
to go
really
to
cool.
space. That program to get women into space was canceled. But you know what? She is canceled no more, everybody. She is going to space. Such an honor to be able to help her realize this dream of going to space after so long. What a moment! What a
I mean,
woman!
this launch is so much, just
that
so
really
much cooler than
perseverance.
the launch of Virgin Galactic
All right,
and
and here we
Spaceship
go. We're
2.
closing the
I don't know why, but that's so much cooler. And there's hatch closing.
What happens when you close the hatch?
Man, I'm
Obviously, it's a
really excited for
pressurized
this
vehicle.
one.
What
So
does that
much
mean
more
with the
than Virgin Galactic. I mean, that didn't really hype me up, to be honest. But this one here, that's because you know you get more of the feel good, the comm jacks and that stuff. We didn't get anything from that in the webcast of the Virgin Galactic launch. That's why this thing's a lot cooler.
That checks the integrity of both seals.
Maybe the vehicle of Virgin Galactic is cooler.
Now, I understand that we've got Caitlin
Here, got those
Dietrich
huge
again
windows.
on
That's
the
yes.
ground.
They're looking
We've
so
got an
far to
update
the
from
shots,
Caitlin.
to the
What's
inside
going on?
shots. They like floating in there.
She's almost ready. So let's hold off on just a moment for our update from Caitlin Dietrich.
Yeah,
In the
Well, he's
meantime, let's watch
really
here
awesome,
as
really awesome.
The tower crew continues to close the hatch, make sure that the pressure seals are all ready to go. There we see Mark Bezos giving the thumbs up. There's Jeff in the background waving. What an experience to do with your siblings, your best friend. What a day for this 4 crew. Gary, you we mentioned again that you have gone through the astronaut experience. You went through it. Actually, here we go. I think we've got Caitlin. Just a moment, Gary. Hold that thought. Caitlin, what's going on out there at Mission Control?
Hey everyone, so basically we've actually left Mission Control, the porch, and now we're at what we call Fallback 3. It's on basically the entrance to the road to space. And right here is where the astronauts drove by. They went all the way to the tower. You can probably see it there in the very distance. Here we just closed the hatch and everything's looking nominal. And basically what's going to happen is once the capsule is under parachutes, we have a convoy here right behind us that's going to be racing out to get that hatch open and celebrate after their victorious flight to space. So that's what we're all preparing for here after their 11-minute flight. So we're pretty excited.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for that update. Gary, so you, as we were just closing out that question, so on the last one, you actually were in the capsule, right? You and Audrey Powers, who we talked to a little bit earlier in the show, were in the capsule when they closed the hatch. What does it feel like at this moment?
It's actually quite tranquil. After the excitement and all the helicopters and ingressing and that adrenaline, you have a moment in the capsule now to reflect. When the hatch is closed, it's actually pretty quiet. You've got hearing protection in just in case. You can still hear Capcom, but you have a moment to reflect. The fact that you're seated, reclined in a seat next to a window, directly next to a window that is so big, you can just turn your head and feel like you're floating right on the edge of the rocket. And then we've designed it that way so that when you are actually in space, you don't have to turn your head, you can look right out and have the sensation of actually being outside.
And it also kind of adds to the voluminous feel of the capsule. We said earlier it's 10 times the volume that Alan Shepard had on his flight, but it is big, and the windows make it look big, that light acoustic padding make it look big, and then once you're floating up there in space over the Kármán line in 0G, it kind
17
of
minutes,
adds a third
guys.
dimension.
17
yes,
minutes.
We wanted that spaciousness, we wanted that sensation of floating. Really, if we were able to do it, we would have made the entire capsule transparent.
That is kind of a cool idea. Is that for the next iteration? You working on that? Is that in secret? All right, we're not going to release those information on our webcast, but stay tuned, everybody. All right, we're going to toss it back to Capcom. I understand that we've got a special message from Christina Bezos, sister to Jeff and Mark Bezos.
First up, Blue Control. On that
I
note, Jeff
love
and
how
Mark,
so
I have
many
a
news
special message
sites
from you for your
I was
sister
like,
Christina.
oh man, he's wasting his money for playing in space. And just shut the fuck up.
Jeff, this is something you've dreamed
That's-
of your whole life. And your
it's
passion for
just
space
that.
is infectious. Mark, you're the best champion when it comes to encouraging us in our adventures. As you buckle in, I'm reminded of when Jeff was Captain Kirk, Mark, you were Sulu, and I took the role of Lieutenant Uhura. We would battle Klingons while firing torpedoes, all the while dodging in and out of traffic and praying that we make it to our destination safely. Mark, be prepared to fire those torpedoes if ordered to do so.
It's cool.
Now hurry up and get your asses back down here so I can give you a huge hug. We love you, and Godspeed, New Shepard.
And there it is. Beautiful message from Christina. There is our Kent headquarters going nuts as they should. A big day for our whole Blue Origin team. It's
15
early out there on the
minutes.
West Coast, but they wouldn't miss it for the world. Look at them.
15 minutes.
So amazing. Again, what a day for the entire Blue Origin team, for these crew members that are on board,
It will
for their
soon have
families
tower
that are
retract
here, that have been supporting each one
of
these
the,
people's dreams to go to space. Just incredible. And, you know, we are sitting here at T-minus 15 minutes to go until launch. We are in a brief hold here, but why don't we meet Oliver Dayton, one of those astronauts, again, our first, very, very first paying customer, and soon to be the youngest person to travel to space.
Have they mentioned yet that this is the youngest person traveling to space and their very first customer?
I think it's the ultimate dream for so many people to go to space. I guess my first memories of space were Thunderbirds. I was a big fan of that. Watched every single episode there was. That was like the big thing with like the rockets and everything.
Oliver, is this your first look at the vehicle?
Yeah. It's so cool to go with this group because Wally is like one of the best pilots ever and has such an amazing life story. Of course, Jeff is one of the best businessmen ever and a great visionary. And Mark is a firefighter and has such an amazing track record over his life. I feel a responsibility because I'm the youngest in space, and to get more people interested in space, and not even just space but science, would be such an opportunity for me to do. When I touch down and I get out of the vehicle, I think I'll be just speechless.
Cool.
Now, Oliver also has his pilot's license and will be studying physics in college. And in just a bit, he'll officially be an astronaut. But Gary, did you talk to Oliver?
I did. I had an opportunity to meet him.
Did you start recruiting? Did you get on that? What are you doing sitting here? Come on, man. We were like that guy. Not only is he going to study physics, but also innovation. So we can only imagine what is in store for Oliver in the years to come. But I can tell you what is in store for him in the next couple of minutes here. He is going to go to space, over the Kármán line, up 100 kilometers up the internationally recognized line of space, and he is going to come back a freshly minted astronaut. Cannot wait for
I'm
that.
looking forward to this
Now, we
new
are at
game there.
T-minus 15
In
minutes to go
was it Orbital
until
Combat?
launch.
Like
We are in
this
a brief hold here.
fighting game.
And while we're in a hold, why don't we turn it over to New Shepard?
So I think that
Launch the
is
rocket as
the
she
blend
gets
hold,
ready
right?
to take these 4
And crew still,
astronauts
I
to space
think
and
it's until crew leaves the pad. If I'm correct, I'm not sure. it looks like they're leaving the pad area now, so that mean we're getting out of the hole soon. Why is it hold minus and not hold plus?
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us live from
Man,
West Texas,
Bojan, why
where
are
we're
you doing
here at
this?
T-minus
I just heard
15
mission
minutes
control
to
audio
go
now. They're
until
saying,
launch.
oh,
We
we're
are in
talking
a
over
brief
this.
hold. We've got our astronauts that are
Man,
loaded
just give them
into
all
the
mission control
capsule.
audio,
You saw
please.
there just a moment ago, we had Oliver Damon on the left, in the left window. To the right of the hatch is our founder, Jeff Bezos. Coming around him is Mark Bezos, and on the opposite side of the capsule is Wally Funk. And again, we're just here in a brief hold, but while we have a moment, let's throw it back to the pad and catch out some of those shots of our astronauts as they get ready for their flight to space and back this morning.
Oh, yeah, I can't talk. When will we finally get out of the hold, Bojan? Yeah, but I think it's leaving patch, so there's no more crew on the launch tower thing. At least not where we see it.
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us live from West Texas for New Shepard's first human flight. We are at T-minus 15 minutes. We are in a brief hold here. This is okay. I mean, to say, Gary, you can appreciate this. We spent years designing this rocket, months and months designing the mission. And if we need to take a couple of minutes more to make sure that the team is aligned, that we're all set and sorted, that our astronauts are happy, that the weather both on the ground and up aloft is within green zones, then we're going to do that. How do you guys think about holds when you're in mission control? What is happening right now?
There's really two kinds of holds. There might be a hold while they investigate an anomaly, and very often that is not the case, though. There are sometimes holds just to catch up in the timeline. The thing about New Shepard that's distinct
tower reject, guys.
that you might have seen is that we don't need to launch at a precise time.
No more tower reject.
Some launch window because we're trying to intercept something in space. We have a lot of time. We can take our time. It's better to pause and hold if there's any reason to, if there's a sensor reading that you want to investigate, or you just want to catch up in time. So that's why we tend to take these holds. Otherwise, we biased to launching as soon as possible, so we don't otherwise have a lot of buffer in the normal count.
And
Absolutely. So again,
we are back in count.
well, actually, now I understand. The hold is lifted.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that we have gotten the timelines all aligned.
So
our
please
teams are
retract
all
as well.
sorted, and we are continuing our countdown. While we have a moment here, again, let's throw it back to the pad. Check out our astronauts in the capsule as they get ready for their launch to space and back this morning.
So you can see that it actually retracted like a meter or so. And they should soon fully retract it.
All right, everybody, we are at T-minus 14 minutes and 5 seconds to go until launch here. Got goosebumps going already. Again, the adrenaline is building and the energy is building up here as the clock ticks down. And while our astronauts and our teams are going through the final checks with our crew member 7 and the launch team, let's talk about seeing Earth from space and how it changes you. And we're very fortunate here at Blue Origin to have several NASA astronauts that are working with us. And they've logged hundreds of hours in space, and they offer a keen perspective on what our first human flight astronauts are just minutes away from experiencing.
I find it's very interesting that people can look at a picture of Earth taken by an astronaut, but they don't get that change inside that actually being there in space gives you. It is one of those things that you kind of have to do.
The perspective from space is a really fantastic one. You can see things that you never thought you'd see from Earth.
It really can't help but change your life. It changes your perspective. Having that kind of an experience makes you feel smaller.
You really do come back with a sense that the Earth is a closed environment. Everything we have here to eat, breathe, drink, it's all traveling together.
And looking at the blackness of space and looking at the surface of the Earth and seeing that almost nothing separates those two. All of humankind is on this one small rock, protected by this thin, fragile little layer of air.
It makes you realize that the planet is, in fact, a giant spaceship traveling through space that's home to 7 billion of us. And I think every astronaut who goes to space is changed by it in some way.
They've actually documented a change in core values in almost all astronauts from before the flight to after the flight. And as millions and millions of people begin to get this experience, I think the knowledge on Earth and a different understanding about our planet will gradually occur. The experience of something that changes who you are on the inside, it's very powerful. It is so memorable and so unique that people walk away speechless.
Incredible stuff. I hope one day I get to experience that, and I know obviously the 4 people that are on top of that rocket are about to do that. Gary, do you want to talk to us a little bit about today's flight profile, how they're getting up to space over the Kármán line and back home down here to West Texas?
Absolutely. So T-minus 0 is the time that we...
Actually, Gary, if you don't mind standing by, I understand that we are ready for our go, no-go poll.
This is the flight director. New Shepard is go for launch. Booster, commence terminal count. Wilco flight. Controller, strap UHF voice.
Nice go, no go pool.
Enabling onboard power.
Hello, Blue Origin, mission control, still there.
All right, thank you everybody for joining us again. Sorry about that. We got so caught up in the flight profile and the perspectives from our NASA astronauts. We just caught the tail end there of the go no go poll. But I'm hearing that we're looking good for flight today. So let's get back into that flight profile, Gary, that you were telling us about here. Again, how are they getting up to space, over the Kármán line, the internationally recognized line of space, and then back down here to Earth in West Texas?
Okay, so T-0 is actually not the point of liftoff. It's when we send the command to start the engine. It lifts off about 7 seconds later. It will ascend for about 2.5 minutes and then shut off. It goes through what we call MECO, main engine cutoff. About 20 seconds after that, the capsule will separate, and that's when the fasten seatbelt light on their panels will turn off, and they'll be able to float around the capsule for 3 to 4 minutes. During that time, both vehicles are still ascending, and they will ascend above 100 kilometers. The Kármán line today, we're headed for about 105, 106 kilometers, and then start their descent. The capsule, the booster will actually re-enter first. It's more aerodynamic. Before it hits the atmosphere, it deploys wedge fins on top to stabilize it, and then uses those aft fins to steer back over the pad. Just over the pad, about 20,000 feet above, it deploys drag brakes to slow itself down, and then restarts its engines just seconds before hitting the ground to slow itself down to a soft landing. The landing legs will come out just seconds before landing. It might do 1 or 2 maneuvers to make sure that it's over that pad, and then it will touch down softly. Meanwhile, the capsule will continue its flight. The astronauts will strap back in before hitting the atmosphere, get back in their seats. There'll be thrusters that will stabilize the capsule just to prevent it from rocking too much, and then parachutes will deploy about 10,000 feet above the ground. First drogues will fire, and those will extract the mains. And then finally, a landing will occur on a cushion of air, which will fire just about 6 feet off the ground.
Fantastic, and you know, we've mentioned this before on previous webcasts that the dirt down here, it's like talcum powder. It goes everywhere, and so when we have that air cushion that fires, it really kicks up the dust. But again, they're coming in at just about 1 or 2 miles an hour. It's a really nice, soft landing. And again, Gary, we confirmed we are go for launch for first human flight on New Shepard. My goodness, I mean, you've been waiting for this day for 17 years since you joined Blue Origin. What are you feeling right now, Gary?
It's still hard to believe that it's actually here. I don't know if it's set in yet, but the main thing I'm feeling is I'm thinking about the entire team, past and present, the hundreds and hundreds of people that have worked on the New Shepard program, and what this must mean to them.
Absolutely. It's you know, we talked about the team here. It's a lean and mean team, obviously, but each one of those people has contributed so much to this program. It's again, a special shout out to all of our Blue Origin team members watching around the world. Now, for the others that are watching around the world, if you want to experience space flight for yourself, if you want to do what Jeff and Mark and Wally and Oliver are doing today, and you're serious about it, send us an email at astronauts@blueorigin.com. We're open for ticket sales to send you all to space. What just an incredible, incredible day. And you know, we're so lucky to have this particular crew on board today, Gary. And I feel like you know,
so the only question now is when will they retract the crew
Bezos
job?
brothers that are going up, and
I mean, they partially
Wally
rejected it.
and Oliver, soon to be the oldest and the youngest astronauts who have ever flown into space. Oliver, that's representing
Maybe,
our international friends
looking
out
at the
there,
old
taking
webcast from
the Dutch flag to space. You know, and then again, Wally, who has been thinking about
went
going
into
to
the
space
zero.
well her entire life, but certainly since the 1960s, and she was part of that program that got canceled, and she just kept fighting until recently we said, hey Wally, why don't you join us for this first crew? And I can only imagine our future customers that are going to go on board. They're going to represent the world. They're going to represent many different backgrounds, and we certainly look forward to that. As we mentioned, we're going to have 2 more flights in 2021 for a total of 3, and again, many more to come in the future. And that's, That is just fantastic, and I can imagine.
Power checks are
Again, as
T
you were
minus
building
2
the system,
minutes.
Gary, as you were thinking about, okay, this is not just a 1 or 2 flight, operation with New Shepard. You've built it for a long-term program.
We've built it to continue indefinitely and to take hundreds and hundreds of astronauts in the future. We hope to be into the thousands soon.
And just think about that, right? There have only been about 560, 570 people that have ever been over the Kármán line, up 100 kilometers up over the internationally recognized line of space. And today we're going to add 4 more to that list, which is so cool.
Yes, and someday in the near future, we will be over 570 just on the New Shepard program.
Can you imagine? Are you going to go up?
Absolutely.
You going to go up with me?
Sure.
You in, man? Awesome. Okay, we are T-minus 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go until launch. What an incredible moment. Let's check out New Shepard on the pad here. We are awaiting, the rocket is going to go into some last-minute checks on the vehicle. At T-minus 2 minutes is when the vehicle, we throw the show over to her. It's all on her. It's an autonomous vehicle. But Gary, do you want to talk to us about what are some of those last-minute checks that the vehicle is going through, and that we're going to see especially on our screen?
Right, so as you mentioned, the last 2 minutes are auto sequence, and that is executed entirely by the vehicle itself through an automated checklist. You'll see a couple of things. There will be things that you don't see, such as sensor checks, pressure checks on the tanks, radio checks. All hundreds and hundreds of different checks will be stepped through in this checklist. But what you will see is the hydraulic system spooling up, which will wiggle the engine gimbal as well as the aft fins. They're not only wiggling those surfaces, but they're making sure that there's no stiction and they travel smoothly.
Fantastic, and again,
Two
we
or
are
3 minutes
waiting to see that. You'll be able to
and
see,
10
as
seconds.
Gary said, you don't get to see all of those last-minute checks, but we certainly get to see the aft fins. As Gary mentioned, those are the fins at the base of the vehicle. There are 4 of those. Obviously, they help direct the rocket both up and down.
Let's just
And
hope
then
there won't be another hold.
gimbal, that is our BE3 engine. The Blue Engine 3, 110,000 pounds of thrust. Liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen are what are the propellants in
I'm
the
still
engine.
thinking that Arca is the best
Not
rocket, to be
only a
honest.
powerful and also
Eco rocket is the
throttleable
best one.
engine. The throttle, I'll talk about the throttleability
That's the
just
best
here for a
rocket.
second. We throttle the engine back as it comes back to land, and that's what creates a nice soft landing, because as it comes in, of course it's not filled with all the propellant that it had on the way back up. So if we throttle it back, kind of like an airplane, it comes in for a nice, soft landing. And what a trip to space and back. Again, this vehicle.
Okay,
we've had 15
now
successful flights
10
on it.
seconds
Again,
away
we
from
launched
auto
the
sequence
6th
start
one,
and
of course,
tower
a very
checked.
special one with people on board today. I
Mm.
just
And
had T-minus 2
tower
minutes. There we
retract.
go.
Bridge is retracting.
The bridge is retracting. There's Oliver on the left, Jeff Bezos on the right. We are about to go to space, everybody.
I thought how the power shifters blinds up. Why? Just keep them out. That's so cool. That's so cool. Those sounds and everything, just you hear mission control audio over the loudspeakers there. That's just so cool. Show us gimbal checks. Origin.
Ariane, when that engine gimbal check occurs and that engine swings, they should actually be able to feel it in the cabin, because it'll sway the stack back and forth.
There go the aft fin checks.
No fin checks. There's the engine gimbal.
There you see the engine gimbal check just peeking out at the base of the rocket.
Nuclear rocket.
All right, here we go, everybody. Thousands of people contributed years to
And
this
my
historic
heart
moment.
my heart frequency's going up.
It's time for Blue Origin's first human flight. Godspeed.
Come
First
on,
crew
go
of
for
New
Origin,
Shepard.
Godspeed.
Let's light this candle.
T-minus 16 Guidance internal.
Come on, Blue.
T-minus
Let's go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Command engine start. 2, 1. Ignition. We have liftoff.
That goes. There it goes. Oh, this beautiful shot. Oh my god. This shot. That's awesome. There it goes, guys. This is it.
Go, Jeff. Go, Mark. Go, Wally. Go, Oliver. You are going to space.
That's so cool.
5,000 feet.
That's so fucking cool. That's so cool.
Oh my goodness, listen to the roar of the BE-3 engine.
That
We are just about to pass through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. That was when the stresses on the vehicle are at their maximum.
Max Q.
Max Q is confirmed. Beautiful burn on that BE-3 engine. Liquid hydrogen.
Mach 1.
And liquid oxygen as the propellant. It's a nice, not just clean in terms of beautifully performing, but what comes out of it, it's steam, right? Whew. To see the glow of the engine underneath the rocket, just under our shoulders, and to know that we've got a crew that is going to space. It just feels different, doesn't it, Gary?
It is totally different.
All right, you can follow.
I hope we get
along,
inside
course,
shots of the
speedometer in
of the guys flying around here.
The altimeter in the middle of the screen.
But
there.
yeah, the only thing I hate with them, they have like feet and miles per hour. I don't understand anything.
Appears to be a nominal flight.
What is 120 feet?
All right,
Okay,
coming up
36
here on
kilometers.
MECO, main engine cutoff. That will be followed shortly by separation. And at that point, after separation, we're going to let the astronauts unbuckle and take in the freedoms of zero G.
And
there is
there's
MECO, main engine cutoff.
MECO.
A beautiful shot down the New Shepard rocket. Look at that view.
They have one, but counts now. That's cool.
Unreal.
Separate.
Awaiting separation here. And here we are. You can start to see. Stand by. You're going to see the separation of the capsule from the booster itself.
Oh, you see the separation.
So you have to look out the window. Oh, these kids done. Oh, wow. Don't forget to get upside down.
And there we go. Our astronauts have passed the Kármán line at about 328,000 feet, continuing their ascent. You see the two vehicles there. When the speed hits zero, you know that they've hit apogee, their maximum altitude. And you
I want to
hear
see
their
pictures.
Quite an experience.
All my instincts are fine. Okay, I'm gonna start back. Okay. I'm here to Yep. Got it this time. Yeah, you just have to wait for it. Who wants a Skittle? Oh, yeah. Yeah, well done. Here, toss
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
Yeah, having fun inside there.
Oh, wow. You got to take a moment to do that. Okay, get in. We got to get in.
Oh, man, Dad, look at this. It's dark up here.
Oh, wow.
That's so much cooler than the Virgin Galactic thing.
First step, status check. Astronaut Oliver.
Oh, wow. Oliver, status check. Oh, sorry. Blue Control, Oliver, status perfect. Green.
Oh man, look at this picture there. It's so fast. That's look at this booster cam. Oh my god, I love that they have booster cam now. Oh my god.
Copy, astronaut Bezos.
Enjoying re-entry now. Man, it's so cool. That's so. I mean, look at this booster there. Veterans deploy. Oh my god, that's. Soon we'll have to track base in the booster. Oh, I see the shockwave. Oh my god, this booster cam is so awesome. There's the landing pad. Oh my god, this booster cam is so awesome. What the fuck? That's so cool. And there, look, it hasn't even ignited the engine. It's so low now. It's so low, this engine. Oh man, you should have something different.
And booster touchdown, welcome back, New Shepard.
That's so cool.
Beautiful rocket that
Only Shepard's little flamey there.
flight to space.
Man, I don't know why, but this pad is ablative, right?
Booster has landed.
Why is the pad ablative?
Blue Control, Bezos, that's great to hear about the booster.
And there it is, our crew capsule with our 4 crew members on board.
You have a very happy crew up here, I want you to know.
We should soon have the jokes.
Stand by drogues. Stand by drogues. Stand by main. Stand by main.
Jokes out, and we'll soon have main shoots. And there are the main shoots.
Far, a nominal flight. Here comes the crew capsule back from space. The drogues deployed. Here are the mains out, reefing and coming to full inflation. Our rocket went over Mach 3, and now they're coming floating back down at just about 15 or 16 miles an hour, about to join us home. Back here in West Texas after having gone over the Kármán line, the internationally recognized line of space. The world's newest astronauts. Gary, how you holding up, friend?
I am speechless.
Wow.
Yeah, and Shepards so cool.
And those big, beautiful windows.
We've just got about a minute and a half of floating before the activation of the skirt jet for a soft touchdown. At this point, there are sensors on board that are detecting how high they are above the ground.
Coming back.
Multiple sensors. And just 6 feet above the ground, that cushion there will puff.
And then we'll soon see the red
We'll
rose.
have a
I'm not
soft
just so
touchdown,
used to
almost
they
like
slow
just
down
sitting in
again
a chair.
ahead of touchdown.
But I'm sure their adrenaline is pumping now.
And boom. And touchdown.
And touchdown. Welcome back, New Shepard's first human crew. What a
Welcome
flight.
back to Earth First Step. Congratulations to all of you.
Ah,
That's
what
so cool.
a day, what a day.
Why is Jeff not moving?
We're so grateful to everybody who made this possible. Thank you. Blue Control, Oliver, thank you so much for everyone there. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Copy First Step. You have a very happy Capcom here as well. Let's do a status check. Astronaut Oliver.
Blue Control, Astronaut Oliver, status correct.
Copy. Astronaut. Copy. Astronaut Demo.
Astronaut Demo, I am unbelievably good.
Copy.
Blue Control, Bezos, best day ever.
Copy, everyone. Go ahead and remain in your seats. Crew member 7 is on their way. Shortly, you will hear the capsule off-gassing.
Another question still. Why is Jeff still not moving? Oh no, he's moving. Okay.
Did anybody have to start out with it or have to take? I didn't. We asked? No, they thought they did. We'll find out. It's okay. I had, my main mission was accomplished. I didn't kick anyone.
Amazing.
Yep.
First up, Blue Control, your apogee was 351,210 feet.
Man, Oliver won't understand this. What is it in meters? Yeah, love that.
That was incredible. That was Wally, that was incredible. No, I was the helicopters. I was surprised at how easy zero G was. Yeah. It felt very like remarkably natural. It did. It's like swimming. Yeah. Yeah. It's not. It's weird. It actually feels good. It felt.
Well, what a day. You can see our the world's newest minted astronauts there on board discussing their incredible flight of a lifetime up to space and back. Wow. Our team is now preparing landing safety operations. The recovery
There they come.
crew has already, minutes ago, has left the barn there to go open the hatch. You can see them there. They're arriving at the capsule in the Rivians. You can actually also see that the parachutes fell very close to the capsule. It means that there's not much wind out there. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. Not too shabby, Gary. What do you think?
No, it was picture perfect. And it sounds like it landed pretty much exactly where we predicted. That's how they can get to it so quickly. They start moving even before it landed based on the prediction of landing. We used
They're
weather
re-rushing it right
balloons
now.
that we launched throughout the morning, and that gives us a very good idea of where it will land, which is within 1,000 feet. What you're seeing that they're doing right now is Kevin Sprogue, crew member 7, is just making sure everybody is okay and gives them a thumbs up. They're also grounding the vehicle. When you go into space, you could accumulate pretty significant electric charge. That's actually why we prefer that the astronauts not get out themselves, so that we can ground the vehicle of static charge, which can be quite strong.
Excellent, and I think there that Kevin Sprogge, our crew member 7,
That's
has
so
given the
freaking cool.
given the thumbs up.
Yeah, but with that, I would say we end this live stream. It won't have much anymore, and I'll have to go away. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it really much. It was so cool. Really big congrats, Blorgen. And with that, I would say we'll end the stream and have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice rest of the day. Have a nice week, and hopefully see you soon.